Lesson 58, solving percent problems with equations. So we're going to talk a little bit about translating from written kind of English into math language. So I don't know if you guys are realizing that math can sometimes feel like a different language. So translating into math usually means equals or equal to. Of usually means times or multiply. So that's a times sign. What number? We can translate what number into, so this means a variable. And sometimes we just write it W sub n to help us remember what number. And that kind of helps us remember, oh yeah, we were actually looking for that number. So one thing we have to remember is a percent of a whole is what part? So we could say percent is x over 100, of is times, we can call whole the W, is usually means equals, and what part we'll just call P. So let's do an example. We have what number is 40% of 50? Now we can just translate straight across. Remember in the beginning we said what number is W sub n? Is an equal sign, 40% times 50. Now here's the problem. We cannot multiply a percent, a number that has a percent sign on it, by another number. We have to change it to either a fraction or a decimal. So we can do 0.4 times 50. So if you remember, 40% is 40 divided by 100. Move the decimal over twice. 0.4 times 50 is, we have to bring our decimal over, so it's 20. So the number we're looking for is 20. Here's one more example. 32 ounces is 25% of a gallon. How many ounces is a gallon? So we could say 32 ounces is 25% of what number? So we're just going to translate 32 ounces. We write as 32 is equals 25%. We'll just change right away. Of usually means times, and what number we write as W sub n. So we're trying to find W sub n. So remember that you can do inverse operations. So we're multiplying by a decimal. So we're going to divide by a decimal. And 32 divided by 0.25 is the same thing as 3,200 divided by 25, which turns out to be 128. Since it's asking how many ounces, we're going to put our label ounces right there. Now we can rewrite the percent as a fraction if we want. So we can use the fraction form. This is a different way. So we had 32 equals, instead of 0.25, let's write 1/4 times W sub n. If you remember, when we have a fraction, we can multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to times both sides by 1/4. Wait, no, we're not timesing by 1/4. We're timesing by 4. Let me fix this. Times by the reciprocal, 4 over 1. That makes a lot more sense because then you have 1. So 4 So 32 times 4 is 128. That's our W sub n, and we go ahead and put our label on. And that's the end of the lesson.